Now, dry July we need to address.
Yeah, we do.
It's a good
Again,
month.
Because one of us is trying to do it.
Well, I am doing it.
And he's bought days.
Yeah.
So he bought some days where he's allowed to have a sip. I don't know, how many did you buy?
Well, what's the date
Barwon
today?
It's the 24th, Bill, so you're 24 days in.
Yeah, and I've had 2 days where I've bought them.
Right.
One being I was at the box at the Geelong
They
Carlton
lasted
games.
3 days both times, but yeah.
And then the lockdown, you've got to have a drink in lockdown because you know you're not going to have one for a week or 10 days or how long the bloody lockdown goes. So that's only twice, but for Barwon Health and the Andrew Love Cancer Centre. So it's a good cause. And I have lost weight.
It's been put to us, Bill, that through our listeners, Triple M, that you're in career worst form when it comes to this. The lack of...
No, I'll tell you who told you that.
Who?
Jim.
Broadcasting.
No.
I've heard that.
Shut up.
It's gone all the way to Adelaide.
I've got something for you, Bern, later too.
So a sample of your offerings while you're sober, Bill, they're not good, and this is...
From this week.
From this week.
No.
What is wrong?
You know what came to my head when I was listening to that?
What about that sentence? When was?
When I was listening to that, Jim? A rinculus.
What?
What's a rinculus thing on your grandma?
Have another go.
What's a rinculus thing? I can't say
What did you just say it was?
rinculus.
How he listened to it, and the first thing that come to his mind is other words he can't say.
I know.
Rabs, chimney, ambulance. Mississippi. No, Ohio. Worcestershire. Worcestershire is hard.
What is wrong with him?
Well, you work with him, Jim, and you used to mentor him, and he
No, not anymore.
Hey, Jim,
Not anymore.
you told me. So I've got to just get it back on the piss.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I've got to
Well,
do that.
Bill, that's where you're at.
Rabsy, get me some stubbies today. I'm just going to sit back like we're in the country in the back of a ute, and I'm going to sit up here and have a couple of
Oh,
frosts watching
my
the game.
goodness. Bernard,
Rinculus.
this is what I've got. He was trying to tell a very, very old joke that he's told 1,000 times.
It's a good joke.
What's the wrinkliest thing on your grandmother?
Yes,
What is it,
I've
Jim?
heard it.
Your grandpa.
Yeah.
but he couldn't get to the punchline, Bernard, because he couldn't get the word out.
It's a good
Listen
joke.
to him laughing. Still thinks it's funny like the first time he's heard it.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard it today.
He tells it better than you try to tell it.
Why are you sitting where you're sitting, by the way? There's a chair just there.
Because you know why, Jim?
Why?
I came here last week at 11:30. I sat in that chair over in the corner there.
Yes.
And didn't move until the game was over at 4:30. I sat there for 5 hours. What did you go to the dunny?
What do you reckon we all do, you dickhead? No, you sit on this chair for 5 hours.
But I'm a bit bigger than you.
A lot bigger.
And Fat got stuck in that chair. Fat, I actually went to the toilet twice and I didn't move, Jim. Wow, I was nice and warm. But so I said, no, big fat Billy's got to sit up here today and just look over. Now I can punch duck. But now I walked past, as I walked into Marvel here today, Marvel, and they got some really good, the Avengers and things. We'll talk about that later. But I walked in and I walked past the North Melbourne dressing room.
Yes.
And I thought, Duck, have you or would you, because the doors are open there and I saw a couple of players, Cam Zerha and players.
The zoo.
Would you walk in there and say g'day and just say g'day to a few young blokes and things like that? Would you do that?
No.
Why?
I'm not a flog.
No, I think the young kids would like it, Duck.
No, I've never been one of those ex-players that hang around in the change rooms, Bill.
Like you, Bill. He's never been like you.
I nearly walked in and it's North Melbourne. No, but Jim, would you even go in? Being a past president.
I tell you what I did. I snuck very quickly in to see Carly, beautiful Carly at the property.
Yeah.
She's a magnificent
Yeah.
one. So I very quickly went and said hello to Carl's and then kept walking up here. But no, you wouldn't go in the room.
Why? I reckon if you walked in, Duck, being a superstar of that club.
Duck's different.
I've gone to a few. I go to the functions that I'm asked to go to, Bill. And
That
do
you're
all
asked to go.
But I don't walk into the rooms like a tosser.
not like you,
and,
Bill, who
and
just-
parade around like
No.
someone.
No.
It's their time, Bill. It's not about me.
I
It's
know,
their time.
but
They're
I am
current
thinking,
players.
if I'm a young kid like young Taylor
He's
or
looking at the team sheet out of the Herald Sun.
Bill,
Are you looking
that
at
is
the
a-
footy
What's his
budget?
first name, Bill? What's Taylor's first name?
C Taylor,
the kids of today
Campbell?
wouldn't even
Curtis.
oh, they would know you,
know. They
Duck.
wouldn't even
oh,
know. Bill.
Duck. They
And the
love
only
the-
reason why the Geelong blokes know you is because you dag them.
I just get jumpers signed so I can sell them at
Bernard, Bill is about to fill in for you
Yeah, I
and
know.
do special comments. And his
Special.
preparation is ripping the two team sheets out of the Herald Sun.
It said young Taylor.
Read 'em.
That's sad.
That's it.
It's very. It was sad last week, and I'm afraid about today too. Hey, was that the footy budget you were looking in, Bill?
No, the record, you flog.
I tell you what we've got today, Purple, is I reckon I've got 4 or 5 footballers that I enjoy watching more than any other in the comp. Actually, just physically watching him go to work. David Mundy plays his 350th today. He's been one of my long-standing favourites. But today we have number 10 for North Melbourne, Ben Cunnington. I love him.
You love him.
I love him. If everything's wrong about what he does.
So
We talked about that time trial. He wouldn't get 2Ks done under 9 minutes. Cunners. In fact, I don't reckon he'd actually finish.
And he looks better with the hair, doesn't he? He's got the hair. He looks a lot better. But he has 2 good ins today. That's why I like North Melbourne. When you put Anderson, hard nut, and Cunners in, who's a hard nut. Look at him.
He just walks like he wants to hurt someone too, doesn't he?
Also, look at that duck. They're doing that's spreading from a stoppage.
And he doesn't move.
He hasn't moved.
What he does is he waits for the real stuff. And there were certain guys like that couldn't run in time trials, but then they get into a game. Swatter was like that. Get into a game and run miles, but in a time trial, not so.
He just distributes the ball, though.
You were like that, Bill.
I didn't try the time
Didn't you?
Me and Damien Burke and Dwayne Russell out the back.
Oh, yeah.
I just beat those 2.
Couple of speedsters.
And then get me on the ground and up and down and unrewarded running. Wow, weird.
Brian Wale Roberts, wouldn't you? And caught the tram on those time trials.
So how did you go in the time trials when you were at bloody Dookie United or somewhere? Where did you play?
Dookie United.
Dookie United. Where did you play?
Running actually was a strong suit.
Did you ever win a ribbon?
He won
the race.
What a 4th? What did he get for 4th?
Purple.
Purple for purple. The 4th. First, second, third up on the Dayos and Damien's mum and push
On
me.
the Dayos.
Son, you did well.
Dayos.
I thought he said Dacos.
What the hell?